William.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Let's see. Let me get back to Google Hangouts there. Outstanding.
So I still have to go to my email and click on the join. It's not showing up in the Google Plus thing. It's not that big a deal.
You know, where do you expect it to show? Because I tried it a different route this way. I made a invite and put it on a Google Calendar, and then
Yeah.
and did it and tried it that route to see if I could get sort of both sides of to get both sides of the. Boy, I completely lost my train of thought there. Are you seeing that video?
Yeah, I am. Hey.
Hey, Navina, how are you?
I'm sorry.
No.
Hi, this is Jessamrin.
Hello, Jasmine. How are you? We're not putting you in a precarious position there, are we?
So actually, I was driving, so my camera was in the opposite direction.
Okay.
Oh, that was funny.
For a second, they're like, okay, Steve, you've definitely changed there just a little bit. Okay. Well, let's see. I think we have Cheryl Kruger again. Cheryl, I don't know if you're muted or not. It looks like it's you may be up. Looks like she's gone. Oh, Cheryl Lee. Whoops, Cheryl Lee, not Cheryl Kruger. Okay. So I guess this is a quorum now. Was this easier to join this time?
Yeah, it was easy for me. To continue what you said earlier, I kind of expected it to show up on the Google Plus page, but I didn't see it there. But it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and I'm not actually sure how to get it to show up on the Google Plus page, but I'll try that for the future. Okay. Out of curiosity, Jessamran, where are you driving? I mean, where are you physically located? I mean, what town are you in?
I am in San Antonio.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, because I'm looking out your window, and I'm so envious because, of course, I'm buried in snow here in Chicago. So. Okay. So let's get down to brass tacks here. I guess I'll ask the first question. So I started working. Actually, let me share my screen if it's not already shared. Yeah, here we go. So I started. I just finished. I believe I just finished the start senders and the receiver, the start receiver part. And I'm starting to look for the actual loop because I don't know if the loop should happen here in start senders or if it actually happens elsewhere. Because I just started looking to try to figure that out. Because I see that later on in main that they call do sweep.
Yeah.
So is that actually where the end flows comes from?
No, the inflows are actually basically you need to set up one receiver.
Yeah, so I have the
receiver. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that, Steve. So I think let me. Wow. Oh wow. My start receiver. Oh, here it is. Duh. I just have it minimized. So basically, the start receiver looks like it's very small, that you basically are just sending that command to the receiver host right here, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So then for the start senders, that looks like it runs for an hour, which I'm not sure I fully understand that. But basically it's this, is you're just running those commands on host A and host B. correct?
That's correct. And yeah, they each so you're going to start up. Let's say there's you pass in 200 for the number of nodes, and you're going to start 200 iPerfs for host A to host C, and 200 iPerfs for node B to node C.
And that's actually done within here. It's not something else that's looping and passing in that variable? Okay.
No, you have to do the loop. You have to actually set it up here in this.
Oh, I see. Okay, so okay. And when I was running this earlier, just to test to see if my code was not completely messed up, what I found is that it would run this command and then hang. And so I was assuming that it's going to hang for 3,600 seconds. Has that been your experience?
No. In fact, I can get all 800. I can get all 800 flows going in like a snap of a finger. So it should go pretty quick.
Huh. Okay.
So the 3600 just says how long the program itself should run, but you should be able to start off all of the programs, all of the instances of iPerf pretty quickly.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'm going to. Oh, actually, I guess this is. You know what? I was having mixed results right on this. Have you tried using this command? So I started sketching out verify bandwidth, and what I decided is I was going to run this command to actually run iPerf on the various hosts, but I find that this actually is what. Oh, disregard. I'm sorry, no, it actually is start senders that hangs. Okay. Well, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to see if I can run this code again and see if there was just some problem in the background.
Okay. Well, I was pretty excited because I got it to run last night.
Oh, yeah?
And they had a posting late last night that there was another bug in the code. Did y'all run across that one?
No. What was the actual post? I don't know that I saw that one.
Let me see if I can find the post number. But it was somebody was saying that the set speed command, when it's called in the main loop, you haven't gotten there yet. But once you do start in the do sweep, there's a command where you set the speed or set the queue size, and during that it screws up the queue. And so there was some talk. I haven't checked what the final answer was to that since last night, but by setting that queue, it's causing the results to get skewed.
Huh.
I'll see if I can find that actual.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now on the computer or on the forum. Yeah, no, And you said it's from the queue. Maybe I can.
It's from set queue or
set queue or
yes. Set speed. I can't remember which one. It should have been posted. The first post should have been.
Oh, is it our netlink error during set speed?
No, I don't think that's it. But
Let's see. Yeah, no, Having problems finding it. That's for bloody sure.
Yeah, I'll find it in a second. I see your post for about the study session yesterday. That's great.
My post about what?
The study session last night.
Oh, recording it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I figure I'm doing the same one tonight. I figure we need all the help we can get. I believe that as far as the online master students, that the hardest problem is managing panic, because I can say that early on when it was so difficult to get help, it just was like, oh my God, who am I going to ask? What am I going to do? I can't get a hold of the TA. I can't get a hold of the professor. And
I know, I agree. 2 days ago, I was seriously considering dropping this class because I could not get anything to work.
Right. And actually, last weekend, I think I spent my entire weekend just programming in Python, trying to figure out how all of this goes together, and that was daunting. Although I have to say, I feel like there's some hard-won lessons, and I'm actually afraid that Cody. I'm afraid she is having a hard time as well, and I'm hoping that she doesn't drop it, because I kind of want to make sure that none of us drop.
Well, that's my goal.
Yeah.
Okay, it's post number 220. Title cannot. No, that's not right. Where did you put it? Oh, reason for low Q size.
Oh, I see it.
Let's see if the instructor has.
Oof.
No, they haven't really talked since I posted the last.
Okay. So let's see. Oh, this is where, wow, it looks like they actually were troubleshooting it.
Yeah, I believe Jesse said, wow, 2 bugs found so far. Yeah, Jesse said, 2 bugs. This one in 181, message 181.
181. Is that what this is? Let's see. Oh, no, that's 220. Oops. That's RNet link error during set speed?
220?
Oh, 220.
Or 181.
Which one were you referring to?
The first one I was referring to was 220.
Okay.
Which is a reason for low queue sizes.
Yep. So what's the 181?
181 was another, the RTNet link.
Oh, the other bug, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, got it, yeah.
And then Cheryl Miller had come up with a solution for that.
Yeah, Cheryl Miller is a goddess. I want to meet her as well. Some of the stuff she puts out there, I'm like, I don't know how you figured that out, but you're totally my hero. Okay, well then where are you at, Steve?
On the assignment?
Yeah.
So I was able to finally get it to where it would make all the connections and everything. So right now I'm basically just cleaning up and trying to figure out the verify bandwidth and verify latency. And then also waiting to hear back from the instructors on the final decision on what to do with the bugs.
Well, for the verify Yeah, I've heard a bunch of different answers, and I think you missed the very first session we had because we had sort of a philosophical discussion about verify latency and verify bandwidth because there were some students that basically were using I think it's a netlink info command that basically reads out the variables that you put into it. So if you put in a delay of 42.5, it spits out 42.5. So that was one method that people were using for verify bandwidth. I thought it was cheating, or not cheating, but not I don't know, a rigorous way of doing it. But there was a gentleman named Mike Schamberg, I think it is, or Schomburg, and his method I thought was clever. And I actually posted it in the forum because I had a little bit of question. And in fact, it's the one that I was that you had helped me with about the ARGs. Oh no, maybe that was Bengtesh. Yeah, I think that was Bengtesh. Because I was having a hard time figuring out how to use variables within the class in a global sense. And so what I was trying was...
Yes, I remember that discussion.
Right. And so that code, that pretty much is, I mean, that is my delay correction, my latency verification code in and of itself.
Okay.
And sort of the trick there, and this was Mike, he basically sent the command to ping, to each computer and then just stored the result. And, if you look, because I started to do the same thing. Here, let me share my screen. So it looks like the trick for verify latency, and this is, I think this is the best way that I've heard of, just from our discussion the other day, is really boils down to this right here. Is sending out the command, getting the result of it, and then basically I look for, so then I take that result and I do a search for the word, whoops, wrong. I do a search for the word time equals, and then whatever's after that, then I go ahead and convert it into a float, and I put it at the end of this list, and then just get an average latency of all the values there, and then spit it out.
Right. It really, it looks like you went all out on that.
Well, yeah, well, this is that weekend I spent. I am embarrassed to say that 20 lines of code maybe, that this took me probably a full 24 hours.
Right.
And the biggest reason is that I learned that there's a huge difference between it.
24 hours too.
What's that?
Yeah, actually, it took me full 24 hours just to write that piece of code. So we are in the same boat.
Well, I'd like to say that it was because of trying to figure out a good algorithm. But the truth is that I just had a hard time with syntax. Like I discovered that there's a huge difference between a space and a tab. The way that they're interpreted in Python, and I had been using code that had tabs in it, and in the types of errors that it was returning were just so confusing. Anyway, so for verify bandwidth, it looks like the trick is, it seems to be this guy right here. So I haven't written it all yet, but I basically plan on doing the exact same thing that I did with verify latency, but doing it in verify bandwidth. And I tried initially, and maybe you guys can help me with this, I tried initially to set up a receiver and send up a sender, because I thought that would be better. But every time I ran it, it just hung on me. It just stopped. But this one does not hang. This one actually gives me back a result that I can put into a string and then search. So Navina, how did you structure your verify bandwidth and verify latency? Oh, is Navina with us? Oh, yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, she is. Okay. Well. Okay. Well, let me ask this here. Let me. By the way, oh boy, I just lost my screen. Where are you? So Jazimran and Navina, do you guys have any questions before I start asking more?
No, actually, I am in the conversation and I am stuck at the same point. I'm listening very carefully on how to get the bandwidth. I'm stuck here.
Ah.
So I was seeing that we use if we use iPerf host 1, host 2, that basically gives you the bandwidth, right, in general. But how do I get bandwidth in this case? I'm not sure about that.
How do you? What was the last part of your question?
So actually, I'm stuck at this point. How to get the bandwidth? I got the latency. I saw your post over the forum, and I got the latency now. But bandwidth, I'm stuck there.
Well, I think here I think you can do it the exact same way. I mean, this is my idea anyway. I think you can do it the exact same way as the latency, but instead of doing the pings, you run. Can you see my screen?
No, actually, I can't see your screen because I'm over the phone.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, can you just say it?
Sure. So before when we did the verify latency,
Yes.
what I had put is result equals and then host1 dot command
Yes.
and then the command for ping. And so this time the only difference is I'm using the command result equals net dot iperf and then open parentheses hosts, where hosts is a list of hosts.
Oh, okay.
So before that, I define a list called hosts, that the list is host 1, comma, host 2. And when I run that, it gives me something that I can put in result, and then I plan on, I haven't written the code yet, but I plan on searching that for what I need and then averaging it and doing that. So I think that's the trick there.
That's all right, yeah. Actually, I was also thinking on the same lines. I'll try that once I get back home.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I really need to learn more about this iPerf command.
Well, there's actually, because at first I thought iPerf was part of Mininet. And I don't know if you've had a chance of meeting Michael Schamberg. He's a really smart guy, and he actually did a little bit of research into iPerf, and he sort of pointed out that iPerf is a tool that is used elsewhere. So there's actually a lot of documentation on iPerf specifically.
Okay.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. So then, after you start receivers and after you get start receiver done, where is the actual binary search?
The binary search is done in the sweep.
Oh, in do sweep. Oh, I bet I have it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on.
I was trying to close some windows, and I see your source code, and I was like, why won't this close?
Oh. Let's see.
Okay, that's my dumb moment for the minute.
Do sweep. Yeah, I am taxing my computer now, to say the least. Okay, here we go. maybe. No. But is there code to be written in do sweep?
Yes. I can get rid of some of these windows in front of it. Okay. There we go. I can see you again.
Okay. Must be further down. Oh, come now. Here it is.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so basically you Tech queue size of mid. All of these down pages here, these are buffered. I have stopped scrolling down, but I think I made the mistake of copying some things to my hard drive at the same time, so it is it's just finishing up here, so it's not a happy computer at this moment. So just because mine has sort of stopped, can you kind of give me a big picture of the sweep command, the do sweep? And would you mind sharing your screen? I think you're muted.
How's that?
Yep, that's good.
Okay, sorry, I was sitting there talking. Yeah, let me pull mine up. Hold on a second. Okay, where is it? All right, so this computer is little. This isn't the one I finally got my environment working on. So this source code is just a little bit out of date, but not too bad.
Okay.
All right.
Well, then I'm just looking for a big picture.
Okay, so let's see. Screen share. I think it's this one. All right, can you see code?
I can.
Okay. All right, let me page up here. All right, so this is the do sweep, and one more page. There we go. Do sweep right there.
Okay.
And so basically, big picture is I've lost my cursor. Oh, there it is. All right, so big picture is we've got this line here. I mean, they're basically setting up your buffers, your maximum buffers, and then they're going to say what they want to do is go from one buffer up to the maximum number of buffers, and try to optimize to find out where that sweet spot is, that 98%, where
Right.
you're still achieving 98% throughput with the least amount of buffers. So basically, what this routine is going to do is it's going to bounce somewhere between. It's going to try to zero in between 1 and your maximum number of buffers until it finds that sweet spot. And that's what's going to happen down here in this loop. So let me go down a little bit farther.
Well, now, okay. Now, so the 2 times the delay times 1,000 divided by 8 divided by 1,500. Now that's the definition that we were talking about of what the buffer size should be.
That's correct.
Okay.
So basically, what was it? RTT times C
Yep.
is the first three things there, that arc bandwidth times 2 times arc's delay.
Okay.
And then the last part of that, the 1,000 divided by 8 divided by 1,500, is converting the first part of that equation from bits per second into packets
Oh.
per second.
Okay.
So that's basically what BDP is it's buffer data packets. That was my best guess at what BDP stood for.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, so somewhere between 1 and BDP is going to be the sweet spot. So we get down here. This very first loop right here is just making sure that all of your flows are going and that they're all sending data. So
Right.
you're getting this huge amount of data from A to C and B to C. Let's see, go down a little bit farther. This section right here, this monitor part, is just sitting there monitoring the data throughput in the background.
Well, actually, have you seen popen and pmonitor? Have you seen those commands?
I have seen popen. The only thing I know about popen is it's something to do with Python. I haven't actually looked into it.
Okay.
So, might be pipe open. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I looked earlier for the for more information, and it basically says, it's the popen command is more or less what it says.
Oh, that's very, very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, we get down to then they want to figure out, okay, if you're not bottlenecked anywhere, what is the throughput of your pipe? And so what they do here is they set the speed really, really fast. There were some places, I can't see where it is right now, but they set the speed up really, really fast. And then what this loop does is wait until the link is 100% utilized. They're actually measuring to see what your actual rate is, what's the fastest you can get through there. And that becomes your reference rate.
Okay.
Right there where they initially set it to 0.0.
Right.
By the time you fall out of this loop, that should be how fast your maximum rate.
Okay.
Okay. And so the final loop is now what the goal is to start adjusting the queue size so that you find where the bandwidth, the actual throughput of the channel starts to drop, but it's still right above this 98%. So you're still getting 98% utilization, but you're not at you're at the minimum number of buffers to get that.
I
So
see.
what it's going to do is it's just going to start bouncing between 1 and your maximum BWP until you find that right one. So that's
I
what's
see.
happening is.
And then we actually compare that with the equation where it's the over the square root of n, or was that just some?
Well,
Or,
so here's where a lot of people are like, well, what exactly is we're supposed to be comparing it to? And so my choice was just to take, okay, if I set a certain queue, then I go and take a measurement of what the bandwidth of the channel is with that queue setting, or basically queue or buffers, number of buffers. I take the measurement, and then I compare that measurement, or the ratio of that measurement, to my reference rate. What's my full throughput? What's my current throughput? And then if it's above or below this 98%, then I adjust mid, or the next guess to whatever I'm going to do. So that's basically that. So in the loop, the very beginning of the loop, I think they gave us this. So your midpoint, the one you want to test, this is the binary search. You're just dividing it in two.
Right.
You're taking the average of the lowest and the highest, and that gives you your search point, which they're calling mid. And then Then of course you have to set the queue, and that they gave us that function. That's the one that I think has got the bug in it. That's referenced in that message 220
Right.
on Piazza. And then I just copied right above where they took, for example, up here where they got the reference rate.
Uh-huh.
Up here in this upper loop,
Yep.
right above that. And then I use same things down below to get the rate based on the new queue. And
okay.
And then just adjusted then based on comparing the new rate to the reference rate and adjusting the next guess until finally I zeroed in on the rate that was right there at the 98%.
Okay. And that's could you show us your or show me your actual graph?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, I say I can. Doggone it. That's on the other computer.
Ah, okay.
I can go get it if you really want to see it.
Um.
Hold on a second. I'll go get it.
Okay. Cheryl, it looks like you're here. Cheryl, were you having any connection problems?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can.
I hear me.
Okay, perfect. Well,
Oh,
Cheryl.
you can. Oh, good. Yeah. I think several of us weren't able to get in
Oh, really?
through the on our computers.
Oh. Oh, sure enough. Yeah, I just looked at my email.
Yes.
Oh, son of a gun. Yeah, well, I think I'm going to try. Oh, son of a gun. God, I didn't even see these. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get people to join in. Thank you so much for telling me, Cheryl. I didn't realize that happened.
Oh, no problem.
Okay. In fact, I can do that. I know how I can do it. Yeah, sure enough. I got some hate mail here. Where the heck are you? Okay, I'm going to send, you guys are going to get another email from me because I'm just sending it en masse to everyone. So kindly ignore. Okay.
Oh, that's fine. The cost to get off. Well,
Okay, I just emailed everyone, so hopefully I'll be able to catch some people. That was a... I can't believe how difficult Google Plus or Google Hangouts has been for me. I feel technologically challenged, to say the least.
Wait, so is this hangout going on the whole time?
Yeah, I started right on time.
Hi.
Uh, so tell me how, because actually Steve, there were a number of people, so I just thought people weren't interested. But Steve had come on. We had Cheryl was coming in and out. We had
Hello, Cheryl.
hey Cheryl,
Hey.
and we had Navina come in. There was actually a new person that joined, so I just figured that people weren't showing up. So how did you actually? What did you not get that you typically got, Joe?
So typically I got a video call directly from you that I answered.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay, and this last time, what just happened just now?
So I got a note on the email chain saying that the Hangout has been going on, so I searched through my email and got the invite that you sent out yesterday for today's session, and I clicked on that directly.
Okay. Okay, well, I think I'm going to try this method that I tried today. I'm going to try that again tomorrow, but maybe I'll put a little bit more clear note because this is the first time that it actually started on time. And I think it's because there's no way for me to actually start it. I mean, I have every single day I've actually had to send out an invite like en masse all at once instead of just having it start. So I'll send better notes tomorrow. Okay, so go ahead, Steve.
All right. Okay, so I threw up my latest graph, and so it looks, okay. It doesn't quite match what Josh, I guess his name's Joshua. I guess he's one of the instructors. His looks a little bit better than this one. It seems a little low to me, but again, I'm still waiting to hear back something. But it is following. It seems to be following the RTT times C over the square root of n, just at a lower amplitude. So.
Yeah, this looks perfect. So what do you? I mean, so you're done with this, correct? Except for the
except for cleaning it up.
Except for the verification. Okay.
So it can be done, I hope.
That's good to see.
I have to say this has been a difficult assignment in just getting all the logistics working.
Well, I have to say I am so glad that these sessions started happening.
Yes.
Because I think I would have been completely lost, to say the least.
I still can't believe that we had to download about 3 to 4 separate virtual machines to be able to get the proper details on the assignment.
Yeah, I think we, like I said in that email, we are the plank owners. We are the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
So.
Or it was intentional, and that was part of the assignment.
This is the weed out course.
Right. See what these guys can do.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's throw up some shitty VMs and see what happens.
Also, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but the GitHub for the Georgia Tech Mininet files has been getting updated every few days, but I haven't seen any notification on the forums for what the updates entail, but I looked and I saw a series of commits on GitHub where the code is slightly changing. So, yeah.
Oh, really? I did not notice that. Well, I guess I'll have to go and grab the latest and greatest. They finally get rid of all that N stuff?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Have there been any commits today?
No. The most recent one I want to say was 5 or 6 days ago.
Okay.
Steve, can I ask you a question? This is Scott Pelton. I wanted to ask you a question about your graph.
Yeah.
Did you use one of those fixes to change the delay? Because I noticed my delay was dropping every time it was calling setQ.
Yes.
And so did you change the delay in that TC command within setQ and then got this graph, or did you adjust the delay some other way?
I went ahead and implemented Jesse's fix in post 220.
Where you do, go ahead.
Where I was going to say where I put all of the delay on the between the A and B and the switch, and then put 0 between the switch and C.
Oh, I see. I see. Gotcha.
So, yeah, he had basically.
I saw his post and I was like, what did he do? I was trying to figure out what did he do. Okay, that makes sense. So there's between A and B, or between A and the switch and B and the switch, and 0 between the switch and C.
Right. So instead of spreading it all out, just the whole 41 went between the A and the B. A and the switch.
What post number was that?
It's 220. It's a pretty recent.
And I have another question. So the delay, the round trip delay was supposed to be 87, right? So
yes.
Does that mean half of the delay? That means a quarter of the delay. Originally it was a quarter of the delay between A and switch, and then switch and C.
That's correct.
Right.
That was my interpretation.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it looks like. Oh, Joe, did you write me? Is this hangout going on? Is that from earlier?
Yeah, that was from earlier.
Okay. Yeah, boy, talk about timely response on my part.
Well, has everybody gotten to the point where they're able to plot?
No, not yet.
No.
I'm hoping by tomorrow I'll have that.
Same here. Maybe you guys can help me out. So my main problem now is that the results folder isn't getting generated. And I think it's because, so you know how there's a folder that has date and a timestamp that has another directory? The QLen, that file is entirely blank. And I think that if that file is blank, then that would cause my code to break and not plot anything. Does that make sense?
Why don't you show us?
Okay, sure. Can you guys see my Chrome window now?
Yep.
So this is an example of an output file that I get after running the command, the sweep program. And then so like there in TCP probe, there's a lot of data. Similarly, this is only with 2 flows, just as an experiment. Similarly, there's a lot of data in both of the sender files as well, and then it has IP per file. But this file right here, QLEN, and then S1 to ETH3, it's entirely blank. Do you guys have a lot of data points in this particular file?
Yeah, what do you have, Steve?
Mine isn't looking like that.
I'd imagine it's probably not blank.
Okay, go back to your Malepa directory.
Yeah, sure. This one?
Okay, now let me go into that directory. Okay, and you said your QLing S. Yeah, I've got 280K in that.
Okay, so that is greater than 0K.
Let's see what's in there. Yeah, it's just a bunch of data points.
Are those the data points specifically used to plot one of the lines on the graph, I would imagine?
Actually, I think that the data used to make the actual graph is in the file buffer size results.txt back down at the root. So I'm not exactly sure what that file
So I'm not even getting the results text file. Where would that be located? Would that be located in the directory that I'm sharing now?
No, it's back up under buffer sizing February 4th. So up one level. But you're not gonna get that until you get all of the results.
Gotcha.
So it's actually it's very, very final thing that sweet script generates.
Okay. 1 second. So right now I'm getting this error, and when I was debugging it, it said because there was no data to plot. Basically, a variable that had named data had an empty array, and it was causing the code to break because it wasn't plotting. So I was wondering if there was a connection between this particular error that I'm getting as well as the file that I mentioned before being empty.
Probably so. Let me see if I can figure out where that data comes from.
And I'm not sure if this additional piece of information helps, but after implementing Cheryl's fix on the do sweep function, I still actually ended up getting these RT netlink no such connection. So I'd imagine that would hinder my performance as well.
Probably so. Yeah, I don't see any of those errors.
Because this is Cheryl's fix, and I'm still getting the same errors. That's weird.
Okay, don't move. She changed the set speed.
She changed the ID from I think 10 to 51, I believe.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. That's exactly what I have.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like your thing is messing up in sleep, right?
Yes.
It used to. Or it's actually measuring the show me your output file one more time. Your log, basically your screen dump.
Oh, yeah, sure. Is there any particular one that you wanted to see?
Well, I wanted to see where that error was. The R-link error.
Oh, in the actual terminal? Okay, got it.
It sweep successfully. No, it didn't. Okay, trying R-link, RT net link. There's no such file or directory. Okay, now switch over to your do sweep where you're actually in this loop.
Okay, sure.
Okay, down a little farther. Okay, one more page down.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, right there. No such file. Why would it be saying no such file? There. Oh, hold on just a second.
Hey Joe, we just had Bengtesh join us not too long ago. He's another one of those smart fellers. Why don't you explain the problem to him while Steve's taking a look?
Okay.
Tesh, hi. We've actually been talking back and forth on the forum, so I think he's aware of
Oh,
my problem.
got it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, I won't claim to be a Python expert, but on the end of your print statement where it says trying, take that last comma off.
The last comma. Oh, okay.
Yeah, now see what happens.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, still get that error.
Why? No such file or directory.
I think that error is okay. That's not bad.
Oh, okay.
But didn't Cheryl's fix take care of that?
No, that RT netlink will still appear.
Oh, okay.
That's no big deal. You're good.
Okay, well, as soon as this next error message comes up, I won't be so good, but...
Okay.
So what is the RTNet link? Why do you know what's giving you an error?
No, but your values are way higher.
Yeah, that's probably because I hard-coded into my actual script to make the BW fraction equal to 0.3, just to make sure that I definitely got through all the loops. I was going to try to get the program to run and then tweak that value as needed and make it higher than that.
Can I see your topology code? You know, I spent like more than 72 hours going through like each alliance and everything. So it looks like you did good in here. Okay, now, yeah, this problem occurs because it's trying to look for a file.
Right, and when I tried to debug it, it looked into a variable called data that was an empty array, and because it was empty, I think it spit back an error.
Can I see your test folder?
Yeah, sure.
Are you right? I think you're running buffer sizing, right? Not the buffer sizing sweep.
I was running the sweep just then.
Okay. So if it's a sweep, then you probably need to look at the folder with the date stamp on it, the most recent one.
Yep. Let's see, just share the screen. Yeah, so this is the folder, and as I think I was mentioning in the forum, so like these files, they have a lot of data points in.
Click that QLen S1 thing.
Yep, that's the one that's blank.
Right. So I had to struggle to get that. Let me see your topology code. I made one little mistake, which was not really obvious, but what I did was I started from ground zero. I wrote each and every code myself, and then I went back and see what mistake could I have made. Go down. Right here.
So I know you mentioned something about a delay. Are you talking about this line right here?
Yeah. So that's your link config.
Okay.
You are not supposed to add that bw.net in the other links. So you need to have two link configurations. So what happens is you have like three nodes, two are sender, one is receiver.
Right.
So two sender to switch have unlimited bandwidth, 1 gigabits, right?
Right.
And the next link has the limitation there. So you need to have a two link configs, or what you could do is you must use the first link config as it is, but remove the one that talks about .net. And your bw.net is it's incorrect. It should only have a bw, not bw_net.
Oh, okay.
Because that's your property, and the next one is your value.
Okay. There's another problem too, unless it defaults, is you don't have a 43.5. You should have like a string of 43.5 milliseconds.
Correct.
Okay.
So, and then change the first link config, bw._net to bw_host. You can look up and you will see at line 138, you see bw.host, right?
Right.
So that's the bandwidth of the host.
Okay, got it.
I think your problem is solved now.
And this is the right syntax, just putting 43.5 milliseconds as whatever the delay is in a string.
I think yes, because it only takes like a single quotes. But aren't you supposed to divide that by 2?
Yes, for the total round trip. Yeah.
Yeah, but just try that. And what you have is now you have a bandwidth, which you are specifying as host, and then you have a delay, you have a loss, and you don't want this max Q because there is no max Q right now for in your link. It's unlimited there.
Okay.
Get rid of that particular variable from there. All right. Now, once you add the two links from A to switch, B to switch, then you're going to modify this link config where you replace this BW with BW_net and add that max Q variable in it. And you don't need to do this host configuration because it's taken care of by the server later on.
So this is redundant because it's taken care of by the server later on.
Right.
Said?
Right.
Okay, and what did you say were the? Because I know you said that you have the option of putting 2 separate link configs or just one.
So now you have link config, right? The variable is set. So you in the net 156 line you add the host, and in the 157 you add the link.
Right.
Sorry, 158 or 159. So A to switch, B to switch are the links. Use the same link config. Now you modify the link config after you have set up the link between A to switch and B to switch.
Okay, so I can modify the already set variable right underneath it from C to the switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now your BW is going to be BW_net. That's fine. That's good. Not that one. Not there, because BW is the variable.
Oh, okay. Oh, the actual value is going to be
Yes.
the network bandwidth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now type that max Q equal to Q. Whatever you had before, if you can remember.
Right, right.
It's max Q size. Max
Probably
under-
you need to do args dot max Q or self dot, because you see, you have defined yourself at the bottom, and now when you come to topology, self only is about topology. It's not about the main class of star topo.
Okay.
So type, yeah, I'm not sure if self works in there, but arguments that would definitely work.
Just args in place of.
Yeah, either arg. I think arg is the right term.
Okay.
Okay, now explain why Q is in one link and not the other.
The Q is buffer Q, right? So we are only modifying buffer in the other link. We are not doing anything about checking or anything between switch and A and switch and B.
Oh, I see. I see. So we're just going to accept the
Buffer is
default.
tested between switch and the receiver at the end, the C one, right?
Right.
That's why.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but it shouldn't matter because we're setting the Q anyways. I mean, that's the whole point. We're changing the Q size. Right? So whether you have it or not, I think is immaterial.
Wow.
Probably right. But what happens is if you set max Q at the other link, then the signal will not go more than that amount. So the idea here is like you can send unlimited amount of bandwidth, but the switch is where the bottleneck is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're setting the bottleneck at the sender's link, then essentially you don't need to even look at it because you are only sending a maximum amount from that point on, and then switch doesn't have that bottleneck.
But isn't the bottleneck defined by the throughput, the rate?
A rate from switch to the receiver. If
right,
you have
the rate from the switch to the receiver.
Yes.
We're setting at 62, and the other ones are at 1 gig.
Right. Now, if you set the rate from from the sender to the switch at 62, then you won't have that much of what you call a limitation or bottleneck behavior at switch.
Right, right.
So you don't limit your bandwidth between a sender and the switch.
Right.
That's why we don't provide that parameter that is relaxed. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really a network expert, but I don't know. I haven't used that host configuration to any of these nodes. Like you have add link and link config. So if you add host, I don't know why do we need to add host, because the host is host related attributes are read from the system itself, because you will see there self.cpu will have that parameter by itself later on.
Okay.
But let me check.
So it'll be interesting to see if you run your script again now, if your problem goes away.
Yeah, I'm giving
Yeah,
it
let's
a
try
shot right now.
One more thing you need to do in there was the max queue is set to queue size. I think there is a formula for queue size somewhere there.
Ah, okay.
And did you run sweep or just buffer sizing?
I ran the actual buffer sizing sweep.
You know, the sweep, what it does is it has like 10 different simulations in it. So if you just run buffer sizing, that's fast.
Ah, faster way to debug. Got it.
Yeah. So you won't get stuck in the loop.
I stopped getting screen updates. Did your thing hang, or is it still going?
I quit out of it on purpose so I could just do buffer sizing.
Oh, you'll have so you are running directly in terminal. I am not a Mac person, so.
Ah, okay.
Can you copy and paste in that window?
Yes, I can.
So do you have that assignment page open?
Yes, I do.
So copy those commands from there. That way it's easier. Yeah, I think you probably have to get rid of that n equal and make that flows to 2. No. All right. N flows to 2.
Yep.
So it's just 2 flows. It just checks for your thing.
This won't print out any graph though, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you won't get a graph until you've run through every one of the sweeps.
You got 4 connection out of 4.
Now, Bangtesh, while this is running, I know that you said that you put a lot of time like working through the code line by line. What was your main resource? Were you looking at like the actual ManyNet API, or were you looking at a different source to kind of debug
Yeah, I
your own?
was just going inside and inside and inside. There are many files, and then I was trying to figure out what's becoming the problem.
When you say files, are you talking about the ones that are in the MiniNet folder, the actual source code?
Inside a MiniNet, the source code.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out what was causing, and then I figured that out, like my qlen, and then 1_ETH3 file was empty. So then I nailed down to the problem at that. So why this is empty? And that could only be empty because something was not right in the topology, and then my focus was just on topology. And then I realized I was missing that delay parameter. That was the small little mistake I made.
Yeah, Joe, I've actually have spent a lot of time going through that MiniNet, the code that's actually in your MiniNet folder.
Yeah, it's useful. You can just search for terms and see how they're constructed.
Yeah,
and everything.
I haven't found any resource that even comes close to that.
All right, now you need to go to test folder.
Okay.
It's looking good. A lot better so far.
Yeah. Perfect. I'll share my screen to show you guys, but the file that had no data before now has a bunch of data points.
Sweet.
That's it. Now you run the buffer sweeping, it should work.
Hey.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. This makes a lot of sense now.
Perfect.
Thank you very much for your help, Venkash.
You're welcome. Now run buffer sweep. You have some parameter to work around because the bandwidth, I didn't like your bandwidth. And what I did was while I was debugging, I had printed a lot of those print messages, the prompt messages, like this is the minimum, this is the latency, and so on, so I could see if I made any mistake in those parameters.
Okay. Sorry for monopolizing the study session. Did anybody else have any specific
Now
questions?
you understand that this is absolutely beneficial to all of us. So no, I don't think there is any such thing. And frankly, we can all work on other stuff if we absolutely need to. But so I'm recording this, and I'll stick it up on the web probably tonight. So later on, if we have the same problem, we can go back and go, now, what the heck did Venkash say? Now, are you running the buffer sizing, or correction, the sweep?
I am. I can switch that since we're not talking about anything else right now. I can switch it so that you guys can see it as it runs.
You know, you could also share the desktop, so we actually can just see exactly what's on there. I don't know if you saw that as an option.
Ah, okay. Cool.
Although this way is nice and big on the screen.
Exactly.
Instead of this, now show us that folder location. So it should show like incremental file increase in your look. That
Wow, I
created
got
that
a
graph.
picture. First time ever.
All right, guys. Hey, I gotta hop onto a train, so I might catch you up from the train. All right.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you very
All
much.
right.
Wow, that was really helpful.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
Just goes to show you just never know. You never know where the problem lies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on that point, I know, Will, that you've talked about PDB Python Debugger before as a way to kind of help debug where specifically the problem lies. Does anybody have a good way, I guess, since we are remoting into a VM, is there really a good way to step in and out of code line by line? Because with Python Debugger, as far as I could tell, it's like you're manually typing the letter N and hitting enter line by line, and if there's 400 lines of code, that can be a little hard to debug.
Well, you can actually set different breakpoints
Okay.
in PDB where you basically, I can't remember, I think it's called set trace. You put it in your code where you want it to break into PDB, and then it starts running at that point. In fact,
Okay, perfect.
in fact, I posted something on.
Yeah, I believe you had a resource document for PDB in general, right? Is that
Yeah, and that's actually, because I don't particularly care for sending out links. For a while there, every time you'd ask a question, people just send you a link. But I actually went through that tutorial and found it useful. In fact, I'll just give you the address here. But I find it's a pretty good tool for this kind of thing, although it would not have found that problem. mean, I think that one specifically is a familiarity with the code.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Yeah. And really, there are a lot of pages out there on the debugger. This one was the let's get down to brass tacks. This is what you need to know to get up and running.
Right.
Okay. It's over on the chat window.
Okay. So I'm just trying to sort through because right now that my code's finally working, a lot of images have come up. I'll actually share my web browser.
Yeah, I don't know if the camera is showing it or not, but this is jealousy, what's on my face right now.
Is that what that looks like?
Yeah.
You'll get
Hopefully tomorrow.
You'll get there.
So none of these are the graphs that we're supposed to submit, but I thought the output would only be one graph, but it's nice to see that there are a lot of different graphs. So hopefully, I guess these might better explain what's going on. This is the graph that never was because it was giving my code an error. So I guess this is showing the buffer size over time, over the duration of a particular experiment.
Wait, the buffer in the queue is the same thing, correct?
That's my interpretation.
I believe so, yeah.
So if you're doing a binary search, wouldn't it start to converge? Or at least start to go in a direction? Which I guess is converge. What is your buffer sizing? What does your queue size graph look like, Steve?
Well, let me see. It was Joe. Was that your first? Your first one?
Yeah, this is the first run. Here I can unshare.
I gotta get on the one.
You know, it's funny because I actually have been, I think I'm going to get onto 2 computers, specifically because while I'm recording, I can't really go to any other screen without without losing focus.
Okay, I'm looking at mine. Mine looks a lot different. Hold on, and I'll bring it up. Now, you still have got some issues with your delays, so that might.
Right, exactly.
Well, is there more than just dividing it by 2?
Also, don't forget to take a look at the message 220.
Oh, right.
The what? Message 220?
Yeah, 220 on this.
Okay.
Wow, who wrote this? Maurice Baker. God bless Maurice Baker.
Are you reading 220?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sit there and I read some of these messages like from Cheryl and stuff. How do these people know how to do this?
Same.
Through experience, I guess.
Yeah, you guys, this is Scott Pelton again. Joe, I think that William's right that Q window should look like stair stepping type of graph. Hello?
Hey, yeah, I'm still here.
Did Steve look at his? Is Steve still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm
Did
trying
you?
to bring it up. It's
Yeah, I just looked at mine. And my Q ping is like a stair stepping.
yeah, that's what mine's looking like.
Right, it starts around 4:53, and then it cuts in half. And cuts in
Yeah.
half, So it narrows in on a value. So you might want to look at your algorithm that's in your do suite. The to-do portion.
The binary
yeah,
search.
yeah. I noticed when you were looking at your code earlier, you did a set Q like right at the beginning of that,
Right.
and that didn't look right to me.
There we go. I got mine up.
Yeah, there we go.
Is that what yours looks like too? Sort of.
No.
Well, yeah.
You want me to show you mine? Let's see.
Hey, I have to say, I'm surprised about those spikes for a binary search.
Yeah, here, I'll show you mine. How do I do this?
Okay, so Steve, you need to relinquish yours, and then
I go screen share.
yeah, there's something on the left.
Okay.
It's like a little green icon with an arrow, and you'll press that. It'll bring up another window that basically asks what you want to share, desktop, window, whatever. And if you don't see that, it's probably hidden underneath one of your...
Yeah, no, I see it, but I don't know which one to choose.
Well,
Where am I?
probably a default would be the desktop. That'll show everything on your desktop. But if there's a specific window you want to show, then you'd select that one. But if nothing else, the desktop that'll work.
Yeah, but then you want to be too high up.
Right. Of course, then we can be really nosy about, what your bookmarks are, what you've been...
And also the resolution probably won't be as good.
Right, the resolution's not going to be as good. That's what I was. Okay.
Right. Okay, it looks like you're sharing it.
Okay, that's what my.
Oh.
You see that? Or is that?
Wow, it's converging to 0?
Well, the values are wrong because of that whole. Well, it's converging to 2. All the values are way too low because of that problem. This was before. This was yesterday before I, changed everything to adjust for the delay and all that.
Yeah, that looks like a nice graph.
But it shouldn't. Obviously, it ends up too low. But I'm rerunning the suite right now to see if it's any better. All my tests look better. So. Anyhow, how do I relinquish back to?
You press the same button that you used to initiate it.
Yeah, just the green arrow.
Did that do it?
Yep, it did. Yeah, you can tell that you've relinquished it because that little green arrow doesn't show up in your icon down below.
I see.
Well, guys, I'm going to leave it to the experts. I gotta drop out, but I'll catch. When are you going to have the next one?
I guess I'll have it tomorrow. Probably same bat time, same bat channel.
Okay.
So
I'll look for the email.
okay, sounds good. Now,
All right, thanks,
Elizabeth, Elizabeth, you've been awfully quiet. Are you out?
Yes, so I'm here.
Is there anything that we can help you with, or?
Yeah, I'm also getting a similar, the ARNet error.
And
Similar error.
and you've used the fix that Cheryl Miller wrote in the forums.
No, I haven't used that fix yet.
Okay, let's see. Let me get that number.
But it looks like it's looking for a certain file that I don't have.
Looks like it's looking for what?
A file that I don't have.
Could you show us the specific error message?
Can you see the screen?
Not yet. Now, what we have seen, other people that have had problems sharing their screen, it's because when you press that green button that shows up on the left, it brings up another dialog screen, and that can get hidden behind other windows that you may have open.
No, I see.
So what do you see in there, Elizabeth?
Okay, I see the dialog and now I hit it, so maybe you can see now. Can you see now?
Not yet, although it does show me. I see the icon on yours that says that you're sharing. Maybe it'll take a moment to show up, perhaps.
So basically, after it finished testing the bandwidth, then it gives me the RTNet link, saying no such file or directory.
Okay, so that's the specific error that Cheryl found a fix for in the do sweep function. That fix didn't work for me in particular, but it didn't impact the end result of my code after Ben Katash helped me with the other errors that I had. So my advice to you would be to implement Cheryl's fix. We'll try to find the right blog post to guide you.
And I'm looking for it now. Let's see. RT. Okay. It is post number 181.
Okay.
And actually, this isn't the original one, but there's a guy named Jesse Cook. It's the very last post in that has. Oh, actually, I may be all full of crap. Hang on. Oh, no, it's in there. Yeah, Cheryl Miller. Yep. It's definitely 181.
Okay, I'll try that one and see if that fixes it.
Now, I'm not able to see your screen. Did you? I take it you took it away?
Oh, yeah, you couldn't see it before, right?
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna redo it and see.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to switch to Skype. Almost. Just because Skype seems to have a lot of this functionality and a little bit snazzier interface. But this is good enough for now, I suppose. Yeah, it says you're sharing, but don't see anything.
Yeah, I'll just try Cheryl's fix and then I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, please do, and please feel free to email it to the group, and we might be able to help out. But if not, I suppose we'll probably see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Now, Scott, Navina, you guys have anything?
No,
Okay.
I'm just trying to rerun the sweep. I don't know, my numbers still don't look right.
Okay, well, with any luck, I'll be up with you guys tomorrow.
Alright, so you're doing this again at the same time tomorrow?
Yeah, I think this is a good time for everyone in the U.S. It's too bad. There's a gentleman that is in Finland.
Oh.
Michael, his name is, and he's
Strasbourg.
really good.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his posts.
Yep. And so we actually, he's met with us on the weekend. So I try to do this earlier in the day on the weekend, like no later than noon, because noon for him is 8 p.m. or noon central anyway. Okay, Navina, anything? I don't know if we have or not. Okay, if you can do me a favor, I'm going to drop out. And if you guys can wait 10 or 15 seconds, I'm curious to see if I can drop out while and keep you guys connected. I'm hoping so. So I'm going to drop out, and please let me know if you were able to talk to each other after I go, okay?
Alright.
Okay.
Sounds good.
See you guys.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah.
Okay.